So here is a rundown of my current guitar pedals. So first off, I've got this Baby Tuner. It's kind of just a small tuning pedal. It does what every other pedal does. It's just small and compact, so I like it. And then I've got the Hot One Verb, which makes a really nice kind of... It's got a really nice decay on it. It's almost like gated. It just kind of drops off. That's really nice. It's really good for making things sound like they're a bit far off or quite old. Kind of has a bit of a vintage sound. It's really nice. Then we've got the Blackstar LT Dual. So this is essentially two distortion pedals in one. It's kind of like an overdrive and then a natural distortion. So the settings I have are that, well, the level's a little bit low because the level kind of depends on what the amp's doing at the time, but they all face kind of at that between 1 and 2 kind of position if you were looking at a clock. The ISF is making it towards a Marshall amp rather than a Fender amp sound. The tone I have quite high and the gain I have quite high because I like a lot of gain. And on the Blackstar, the level is always between 1/4 and 11, I'd say. Between 9 and 11 there, and just have the level a little bit louder than it would be there to kind of compensate for the lack of gain, because some of the volume comes from the gain. Let me just... Obviously that one doesn't really do much without much volume, but this... It's a really nice sound. I'll just pop the phone on my leg. Yeah. Then I have a Hot One wah pedal. This is one of the first pedals I ever bought. It's a nice compact wah. It's got a nice... kind of does what it's meant to. It's got a nice little light on it as well, which is great for when you're recording or when you're playing live, because you can see when it's on, because it obviously illuminates a little bit. So if you've got it closed but it's on, you can still see that it's on. It's a really nice wah. I will demonstrate that with a bit of distortion on top of it as well. And then out of the wah we have a tremolo slash reverb slash vibrato pedal. This was a cheap buy because I really wanted to experiment with it, and I've had it for about 6 or so months, and it's stayed on the board since. The board kind of changes quite a lot, but this one, you can kind of change the shape of it, you can change the speed and the depth, which is kind of like how quick it's going and how loud it is, and the vibrato I would say is probably a bit better than the trem, but I think I just prefer vibrato. Yeah, there's a bit of vibrato on it now, so I'll play a little tune. So yeah, that's a really nice pedal. It's quite usable in many situations as well. If you want like an indie sound, you can have the vibrato or the tremolo on at the same time, and it kind of you can get a nice vintage sound out of it as well. Next to it is a little I think it's a little blues pedal. I bought it off my guitar teacher for 20 quid. I basically use it as a boost, like a boost distortion. So if I just turn the volume up a little bit, and I'll demonstrate what I mean. It's kind of all it's used for. It's a great little pedal though. It sounds really nice. It's kind of used for noisier sections in songs, solos if I ever do any solos. I'll put that on just so you get a little bit more volume. Kind of makes it easier when playing live as well, because sometimes, you know, sound guys can be sound guys. Next to it is a DD3 delay pedal, which is normally set a bit differently, but at the moment just got to speed that up a little bit. It's normally it's kind of a nice little echo pedal that goes well with the it's definitely with the reverb. Normally I mix these two with the reverb, and these kind of go in hand together. Obviously there's no point in stacking everything on at once because it just creates a loud mess. But yeah, I haven't really played around with the pedal much, but I do really like it. I like the fact that there's this hold setting. I haven't really messed around with it, but you kind of make your own delay settings with it. That's something I should probably play around with a bit more. But yeah, and then from there we've got Whammy DT, which is probably one of the best pedals that there is. You can play a lot of things with it. There's all the settings here, so you can have a harmony, and then you can just pitch shift. And then on the other side, there's some more pitch shifting options, as well as a dry and a wet kind of like octave. Sorry, but what is best I find is to just leave it on octave up, and then if I'm messing around I can just it's kind of nice for doing that sort of stuff. But also with the EBow I can create nice harmonies with it. For example, here I kind of leave it, if I'm doing anything with the EBow, kind of leave it on the 5th or the 7th, and then let me demonstrate. So that was kind of just moving the pedal to open and close position to change between the 5th and 7th harmony of the note. It's really nice. I just really like it. It's got a really nice sound to it. The tracking on it's really good as well. Earlier Whammy pedals, the tracking on them could be a bit iffy. Songs like My Iron Lung would be a bit difficult to play. But with that, the only problem with it is that sometimes when I turn it off, if say it's on an octave like that and it's on, I can turn it off and just catch it a little bit, and then sometimes you don't always realise straight away, so you can be playing with some horrible, weird Eastern sounding harmony on. Then we've got the Delay Lab, which I have 3 settings for. I have like a nice reverse delay, which is for a song that we do in the band, so I'll play that little section for you now so you can get a feel. But that's 1C. So in there's a nice little a reverse delay. It just has a really nice effect. It's a bit psychedelic. You can make things like that are a bit boring and a bit standard sound more interesting. And then you've got these two, which are space delay with octaves on, which are essentially the same. The only difference is the speed that it delays at. So this one is A is for like really low, kind of like It's for setting songs that are like really textural. So songs that you want to just sound really chill, kind of like let me demonstrate. So it's got a really nice kind of low sounding effect on it, and then this is for more picking, like riffs, like a lo-fi kind of riff kind of setting, which I'll demonstrate now as well. I haven't played that in a very long time. I'm now going to demonstrate a little bit of a little kind of a song, if you will, if I remember what it is. And I'll do a little that's kind of a little demonstration as to how the pedals are used. That was two separate songs. So it's normally either one pedal or a lot of pedals. There's kind of not like one or two that go together. I always have a lot on. And finally there's the volume pedal here, which is just like a standard thing. It's really good for swelling stuff in. Also for cutting your signal to the amp whilst you want to mess around with this, because this has also got a looper effect on it, which is really good for the end of a song. Let me just set that up now so I can show exactly what gets done. So normally press the wah pedal, press those, and press record, mess around with the time whilst pressing the wah pedal, and then stop that, press that, set that back to 1, set everything down, and if I press play, I've done it right. Oh, I've not done it right, have I? Oh wait, no. It's good for creating really weird noises. Just got to remember to have the mix and the intensity up, otherwise it doesn't make any sound at all. And we get what I just did, which is quite embarrassing on some live shows, because yeah, nothing comes out of it. But yeah, that's a little rundown of my pedal board rig.